If you're a fan of popular culture, you might have noticed a striking similarity among the three most recognizable protagonists in modern TV history: Tony Soprano of The Sopranos, Walter White of Breaking Bad, and Don Draper of Mad Men. What do these characters have in common? They all possess traits of complex characters known as anti-heroes. You may be asking yourself, why do we gravitate toward these types of characters? The answer is because readers tend to appreciate people they can see themselves in, and the archetypal hero-villain dynamic starts to wear thin. Have you ever noticed that some of the most enticing stories are those with believable, flawed, and multi-layered anti-heroes?
I know.
As a writer, you are guaranteed to delight in creating anti-heroes, as they're arguably the most interesting characters by virtue of their realism and ambiguity. Here's a breakdown of just what characterizes anti-heroes, as well as the best tips for crafting them in your writing. Tip 1. Recognize the main types of anti-heroes. The practical problem solver. This anti-hero fights crime and injustice but isn't afraid to use less than ethical tactics to get the job done. Think of these anti-heroes as vigilantes who'll do anything, even murder.
We tried to poison you because you're an insane, degenerate piece of filth, and you deserve to die.
The Outcast. These anti-heroes are often portrayed as the victims of a corrupt system. They are characterized by their inner turmoil, loneliness, and self-destruction. They strive to be heroic in their own sense of the word, making these anti-heroes tragic and sympathetic. The hero in name only. This is arguably the most controversial type of anti-hero. These characters don't usually have noble intentions, but act out of selfishness or greed. Readers often confuse these anti-heroes with villains. Tip 2. Develop your anti-hero's backstory. After brainstorming a fitting anti-hero for your story, the most crucial step is establishing your character's backstory. Your anti-hero's past is the door to his internal conflicts, motives, and neurosis. Are they avenging the murder of their beloved or committing crimes to give back to those in need? Don't feel obligated to create a heart-wrenching backstory for your anti-hero for the sake of writing a tearjerker. Instead, spend as much time developing character arcs for your most self-serving anti-heroes as you would for the sympathetic ones.
I used to think this scar marked me, the mark of the banished prince, cursed to chase the Avatar forever. But lately, I've realized I'm free to determine my own destiny, even if I'll never be free of my mark.
Tip 3. Perspective is key. While it's common for anti-heroes to have dark qualities and exist on the fringes of society, you don't want your readers to confuse who they're rooting for. After all, your anti-hero is still your protagonist, propelling the narrative. The way you frame your story through points of view affects who your readers are inclined to rally behind. A first-person point of view, for example, allows readers to become close with your anti-heroes and understand their unspoken hang-ups and phobias. Compare how a reader might judge your anti-hero's actions as a removed onlooker versus inside the mind of the character. Tip 4. Seek inspiration from within. Anti-heroes are clearly ubiquitous in literature and film, two sources of inspiration for authors struggling to write convincing characters. But many writers tend to overlook themselves when searching for real-life muses. Don't be afraid to be introspective and dig deep into your own emotions and history. Consider imagining how someone might write you as a character. You might even find the process to be quite therapeutic. Call or visit thewordslayers.net to learn more today.